Okay, here we go. G2 Ramjet. I've had this guy for quite some time, and as you can probably already tell, he also has Reprolabels on him, and those have been on him for a while. I just haven't gotten around to making a video on him. I had this whole elaborate plan for like a new approach and format to doing figure study videos, or not figure study, oh, geez, why am I blanking on the name now? Enhanced Edition, that's what. Wow, that took me way too long. I had an idea for a different approach to a format for Enhanced Edition, and then that was like 3 or 4 months ago, probably longer, and I just haven't made the time and also don't really have the time these days. So instead of doing all of that, we are just looking at the figure as is with the stickers, and I might talk a little bit about the kind of stuff I was going to cover with Enhanced Edition, because I have like B-roll footage from a while back that I will probably cut into here. So I don't know why I'm telling you all this. I could just do it. But regardless, we are looking at Generation Selects G2 Ramjet. Now, I have no interest in the cone heads on like a personal level, no nostalgia for them or anything like that. But I really like G2 Ramjet specifically because these colors are ridiculous. He kind of makes me think like the color palette, if you swapped the black for white, makes me think of Dreadwind. And I love Dreadwind's colors. So this, like the purple and the light blue or turquoise possibly, I think it's more light blue, but like that just makes me think of Dreadwind. I really like these colors together. They're hideous, but in like a great way. And yeah, G2 Ramjet is just a remold / slight retooling of the the Earthrise Seeker mold. And I think it works really well here. I think the changes that they made for the cone heads, at least for Ramjet, works well. I like the giant boosters on the back with the tail fins, and also I really like these wings that start much further up and kind of sweep all the way to the back. I just think that's a cool look, and I also think it's cool how, at a glance at least, it looks like a solid wing, but it actually separates right here. Kind of see how that comes out. And we'll get to that when we get to the robot mode and transformation and all that. But yeah, I just think that's cool. I like the design of Ramjet's jet. I don't know, I just like the wings. They're neat, and boosters and all that. As I said, colors are fun, and the Reprolabels I think definitely help kind of push it a little bit further, which I don't think it necessarily needs, but I definitely think it helps. I mean, there is obviously the colorful detailing right above the intakes. Those are stickers. The intakes themselves are stickers. This little bit right in front of the cockpit, also sticker. I believe these bits back here are also stickers, but I could be mistaken. And of course, there's this wonderful red and silver sticker with the G2 Decepticon logo going along the wing here. There's also that, then the purple trim on the backs, the tail fin stickers on either side, and then the intake stickers back there, as well as this one right up there. And I don't know, I just think it's nice because it adds just a little bit more to this. I think color-wise it's great. Without the stickers, still great, but like the purple definitely does benefit from having a little bit of additional color breakup. Now, the only thing that's kind of a bummer, really, about the mold as it is for the cone heads is, as you can see, these flaps down here. Because they have these giant knees, which we'll talk about this and all the stickers and stuff when we get to the robot mode, but because of how all that works, the knee pads sit over the hip flap, waist skirt, whatever you want to call it. And that means that the balance and weight distribution for Ramjet is a bit off. So instead of sitting kind of normally, he is going to make me a liar. Okay. He has a tendency to do that. but clearly if you do things right, they'll still sit like that, but he is balancing on those knee pads, which isn't ideal. But aside from that, I think this is great. I love the colors, as I said, and the stickers really set it off. So let's move straight on into size comparisons, since I've repeated myself enough at this point. Let's just shuffle this over, you in a little bit, and bring our team into frame here. It's Artfire, Rotor Storm, Burnout, and Samus. And there you can see how Ramjet stacks up, and he's a Voyager. He is basically the Earthrise Seeker mold, so if you're familiar with that, you're familiar with this. It's basically the same size, just different wing shape, different engine stuff going on back there. Now let's get all of these out of the way again, and bring in the only size comparison that matters. Here is G2 Ramjet with the duck tank. Unfortunately, I no longer have any Earthrise Seekers, so I can't do a size comparison or direct comparison with those, but it is what it is. Now, before we get on to the transformation, just want to say, as a reminder for anyone who likes this video or any of the other ones that I've done and is interested in maybe supporting the channel, I do have a Patreon. It's only one tier that's available. It is $1. $1 per month gets you early access to new videos, and as I said, it just supports the channel. Also, if you would like to support the channel in a different way, outside of the usual YouTube stuff, there is a link down in the description for a Discord channel for Show Z, which is a really great overseas website, if you're not familiar with it, that sells a lot of third-party and KO stuff, but other stuff as well. And, you know, great customer service, nice selection, good prices, free shipping to the US most of the time, or you can pay more to get faster shipping, though I don't think it's necessary. And if you join their Discord using the link in the description, it earns me about 50 cents worth of store credits, so that can add up to, you know, eventually get more stuff to cover on the channel. So with all that out of the way, let's get on to the transformation. And if you're familiar with the Earthrise Seeker mold, then this transformation is practically identical. But first, I'm going to pull off the cannons or null rays. I honestly don't know what these are, if they're called null rays or not. I do believe these are incorrect. I think the cone heads are supposed to have more like bomb or torpedo shaped things, not like the blasters, but I don't really care. Anyway, with those out of the way, we are going to pull down these flaps here. They don't actually peg in, they just sit. With those pulled down, we can pull back here and disconnect these tabs from in here. They just sit inside the little sections there. So you pull back and the legs accordion out like so, and then you fold these panels back in and the panel will peg into the little tab sticking out in front of the knee. And that takes care of the leg extension. I'm going to unfold these little bits on the back to give them the feet. And I believe you're supposed to rotate the wings back for Ramjet. Personally, I prefer to rotate them forward. I just think it looks better. So that's what I do. And we can split the legs. And they clip together pretty solidly, so hopefully it doesn't break when I do this. There we go. Okay, the tabs look like they're still in pretty good shape. It just made a really unsettling snap when I put them together for this video, but there we have the legs. Now for the upper body, it's like this bit is a little bit different because, you know, from the Seekers, but this is also a little bit different in that instead of the entire wings connected to these struts back here, you just got these little bits on the front. So you move these, and these actually, they sort of tab in kind of a bit. So you want to move those up, and then rotate that up, rotate that out, and rotate that up. And these, you can do this, you can do this, you can fold them back if you really want. but I generally just kind of leave them like that. Now I want to separate all of this from this section in the front, and you can kind of see where this piece comes up over here and this piece comes up over here, and they kind of interlock right in here. I find the best way to separate these without stressing the plastic too much is to kind of pinch in at the center here, which is a little tough when it's in jet mode because of all the plastic mass in here. But if you pinch in, that should loosen up this connection enough that you can kind of wiggle the other panels past each other and pop it open. So then you want to swing this down, swing out the arms, and they just tuck in right underneath these panels here. So swing out the arms and bring the arms out a little further, and we'll do the body first and then do the arms last. So with that, I want to unplug the entire cockpit section and swing it up like this, and then rotate it 180 degrees, and then accordion it down on this hinge, and then close this back up again. And when you close this up, these sections will clip back over where they were, but you also want to make sure that these panels that the arms are sitting on, also you want to make sure they line up right up in there. So make sure that those are lined up, and they are. So that makes sure that torso is nice and locked together. Now the fun part. The arms on my ramjet are a little bit difficult, let's say. They did get better with multiple transformations, but opening this section up was kind of a pain. Basically, you want to swing this entire outer forearm section up, and it rotates right at this pin here, and then this section will stay where it is, this little corner here. To pull that up, and yeah, this is back to sticking again. It's just because it's like difficult to get a grip on it. Now you can, with the Earthrise Seeker mold, you could at least push the fist down to kind of pop it up, but this is so tight, it kind of doesn't really work as well. Like, it does work, but it's a little bit more stressful. But yeah, open that up and rotate it out about 90 degrees, and that'll let you hinge this section out and around. You want to kind of bring this bit down first because it kind of hooks a little bit around here, and line this up so that this little there's this little turquoise-y light blue piece in there that hinges in and sits over that joint. Then you can close this back up, and that'll peg in there. Rotate the fist out, and there you've got an arm. And the other side, I think, is... I can't remember if there was like one side was better than the other or what, but yeah, these forearms are definitely being difficult. Oh yeah, this is the one that liked to give me problems. So yeah, the other arm was the easy one. As you can see, trying to leverage it out like this has pushed that piece down, which is not great. Not ideal. There we go. Okay. And as before, hinge that out, close that up, put the fist in place, and there we have that. Real quick, bring the null rays or whatever they're called back in and peg them into the shoulders, as they do for the Seekers at least. And lastly, the nose cone will pop up and swing out and back, and we'll just kind of sit in this little groove here. The little armature will sit in that groove. And this doesn't really peg in, it just sits on the back. And that is that. There we have G2 Ramjet with Reprolabels in robot mode, and I like this a lot. The transformation is a little bit tricky because of some of the nuance, especially because of the tolerances of the arms. But man, this robot looks good. Again, I love the colors, but I think it works even better here, because instead of a big thing of purple along the top and like the black wings on the sides, you get purple and black and turquoise or light blue, I keep saying turquoise, kind of interspersed in a lot of different places. Like it just staggers it so well. And to kind of show you what I mean before with like the wings, like folding these back is fine, but I do think it looks better having them folded forward. And if you really wanted, you could leave them out like that too, but no, I'm just gonna leave them like that. Now the labels themselves also add a lot of really nice detail too. Like, got some extra now down in the toes. There's really nice detailing in the knee pads. I love how weird that looks. And some added detail in the waist section over like these vents and down here. This definitely breaks up the color a bit better because, you know, it's just a big black section here. You got little stickers on the forearm and the shoulders. Let's see, is there any extra around here? I don't think so, though I am noticing some very, very apparent yellowing on the back there. Wow, even the freaking turquoise plastic is yellowing. What the heck? Nothing is sacred anymore, I guess. But we also get the stickers along the pylons there, and that is pretty much it. Like, there aren't a ton of stickers for G2 Ramjet. Oh, and also you saw on the underside of the wings there, there aren't a ton of stickers on G2 Ramjet, but I do like what they add. They just add a little bit extra to an already extra color scheme. And I love it. I really do. And I think this actually, I like this better than the Seekers. I don't know, I like how the wings stay on the legs, and I like having them folded forward like that because it kind of cleans up the silhouette more. And I know, like, the Seekers with the wings on the back, that's a big thing, but I like how this takes that mold and moves the wings somewhere else, and it creates a generally cleaner silhouette. I don't know, I like it. And in particular, these colors. Like, I have no interest in getting, what is it, Dirge? That they announced for Legacy or Generation Selects or whatever it is. No interest in that. I just wanted G2 Ramjet because I think the colors are fun and the stickers look really great. Now, the head is, as I understand it, it's basically just Ramjet or Dirge or Thrust. It's just what it is. It's a little bullet with a person inside. And I think it looks good. The colors are a little bit uninteresting, I guess, compared to everything else going on here, because you've got like the black and the purple, but then you also have this light blue. But here you just have the black and the purple, so that kind of dulls the face compared to the rest of the body a bit. But the sculpt is good, if you can see it. That face being jet black is definitely making details a little bit difficult to pick out sometimes, even under the lights. Though the orangey yellow eyes do pop pretty nicely against the dark face. So there is that. Now, as for articulation, you can see the head is on a ball joint. It does not really give you much in the way of waggle, but you can go up and not really down, and can look left and right. The shoulders can go all the way around, though the little bits back here do kind of get in the way a little bit. They can go out to 90. You've got a bicep swivel. There is a slightly over 90-degree elbow bend. There's no wrist articulation, but you can flip the wrist up if you really want to. Don't know why you'd want to, but you can do it. No waist articulation, which, given how all this transforms and the fact that a piece of the fuselage section is actually sitting down between the hips, I think that's understandable. But you do get the hip skirt that you can flip out of the way, and so the legs can go forward to about 90, but you have to come out a bit, and you also kind of want to get the knee out of the way. But you can go up to about 90, can't go back that far because of this big panel back here. So that's a shame. Can go out to, it's pretty decent, beyond 45 at least. You get a thigh swivel, and there is a knee bend that it unplugged from the knee pad. You can tell I don't pose this guy that often. So keeping that knee pad pressed in, you can bend the knee to, I want to say that's slightly more than 90 degrees, so slightly more than 90. And then for the feet, you do get ankle tilts that go pretty decently in, and you can move the heel and toe up and down. So pretty decent articulation for what it is. Not the best articulation out of the line, but it's fine, it's passable. And he just looks fun. I think, yeah, as I said, I really dig the color scheme, and the stickers just add a little bit of extra something, you know? Now, bringing in our size comparisons, you can see that, well, thanks to the cone head, he's a little bit taller than Artfire. Definitely taller if you count the pylons, and also definitely taller than Rotorstorm because he's a Voyager, and also definitely taller than Burnout because he's a Voyager. And there it is. So yeah, there you can see how Ramjet stacks up with the lot. And getting them all out of the way. And bringing in the one and only size comparison, the best size comparison, the duck tank. And that does it for G2 Ramjet with Reprolabels. I think this guy looks great. I mean, he looked great without the Reprolabels, but with, they just add that extra level of pop to everything. It is a real shame to see that some of the blue plastic is yellowing. That stinks, and I don't know why it's doing that. This is the back of his elbow. It's not even facing forward, where if sunlight were getting in here, that would be where it would be, you know, like it at least makes sense that it would, you know, yellow stuff up here, but this seems to be that joint for some reason. Maybe a little bit around like the wrist section? I don't know, it's hard to tell with these lights, but yeah, I don't get it. I do not get it. I have blackout curtains that I use, so it's not like sunlight's even getting on these things, so I just don't know what's happening. But if it stays to the back of the elbow, that's okay. It won't ruin the figure. It's something that you never really notice. So, it is what it is. But that is enough about what I think of Generation Selects G2 Ramjet with Reprolabels. What do you all think of this guy? Whatever your thoughts, feel free to chime in down below. I always enjoy hearing from you all. Thank you everybody for watching, and still no official outro, but hopefully if you're interested in this guy, you don't let the yellowing trip you up too much, because as far as I know, this isn't a common issue with this guy. I'll have to look it up later, but I think it's fine.